Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. If you are in a city and you want to have land out in the country, go out in the country, find a piece of property that you like, and build an altar on it and walk it. You know, if it's abandoned property or maybe it's owned by somebody that is not around, walk it. Father told Abraham, everywhere that you walk with the soles of your feet, that I will give you. And he built altars. And so I built this altar in 2000, 2001, 2002, whatever. And we got this property. We were able to miraculously finance it. $20,000 for 10 acres. Try to buy a farm for $20,000 for 10 acres today with 2 ponds, 2 streams, a corral, a stable, a well, a circular drive, terraced landscaping, nice beautiful rock outcropping, a lot of cedar trees. So it was a little bit like Colorado, a little touch of Colorado, you know, with the rocks and everything, and the remnants of the Rocky Mountains, if you're not aware of that. And you know, cedar trees, so some greenery in the wintertime. You wouldn't just an eyesore. Everything wasn't dead in the wintertime. There was green out there. Look out the kitchen window, you see green, living room window, whatever. So I built this altar, my family and I. I'm not going to tear it down right now. There should be 13 stones here, one for each tribe of Israel. And you know, I put those 2 top stones. I knew they had slid off, so I braced it up, and that one looks like it fell off. But I'm not going to tear it down right now. I'm just too tired and too weak. I'm dehydrated. I came down here to get water, and I have not been able to get any water, so I'm dehydrating as I'm going. And I went in the solarium for quite a while, and that got pretty hot, so I got out. Anyway, my point is this, that we built this altar, we got the land, and we were able to, the Lord blessed us to pay it off in less than 1 year. Pay off a 10-acre farm in less than 1 year, people. Cash. You know, every week, my wife at the time was working, my ex-wife now was working, my oldest son was working, and I was working. And every week, the money would, whatever money, they'd give me the money, I'd pay all the bills, and then I'd run down to the bank and pay on the principal. Did that for a year, and where it was paid off. Totally paid off, free and clear. Now, I built an altar on the property where I'm at now, up above, the next 10 acres. And 10 years after I built that altar and claimed that land, the phone rang. Offered to buy the property and the money to pay for it with work for my son. So he said, sure. And then he had built an altar in the back 20 acres. He said, I want the 20 acres to the west of it. Well, we already sold that. 10 minutes later, the phone rings. The guy says, Ian, I bought that property for you. I knew you'd want it, and they'll sell it to you a lot higher price than they sell it to me, so I'm buying it. You pay me, I'll pay them. It's your land. So all 3 properties are paid for. My point is this, that 3 altars, 3 contracts, 3 deals, 3 amounts of money to pay for the land. They're all paid for. So is that amazing or what? Yeah, totally amazing. So I encourage you, build an altar. You know, not like I told one guy, oh, this would be like stealing. No, when we get the land, we'll build an altar. No, build it now. You're supposed to have faith, not after God gives me the money, I'll build an altar in obedience. No, obey now. That is so unbiblical and so ignorant. I'm not going to have faith until God gives me the money. And when God gives me the money, in retrospect, I'll build an altar. You'll forget because you're going to be so fat and dumb and stupid from being surfeited with food and everything. No, you're not going to remember to thank God. You're supposed to thank Him after the meal, not before the meal. Most people don't do that either, you know. Anyway, so this place is letting it fall apart. It's just very sad. We put a lot of work into this place, and it's just everything's going to pot. That's a chicken coop, pile of wood over there, burn pile. You know, hay wagon there, not good. The solarium's falling apart. The house is falling apart. The orchard's being destroyed. The shed that I have my books in, 400 books, 400 boxes of books, in a shed with the wall rotted off. I'm going to get over there in a minute. Try to get something out of there. I got a stainless steel washing machine in there I want to get. Anyway, my lesson here is the altar. Have faith, build an altar, claim land. I built quite a few of these. I built 2 on a $6 million property, claiming the land for God's kingdom. I just claim it for God's kingdom. Oh, I built one at a 160-acre property that we were going to rent the house on for $300 a month. And that was when I was going through all the changes in my life and realizing we have to build our own house. We have to live debt-free. Cannot live with a mortgage, a death pledge over our head. A mortgage is a pledge that you're going to die before you pay it off. They're betting that. They're betting against you. They're betting against you living long enough. So I'm going to try to get down here to the fall. I fell down here one time and it just tumbled on down slammed so hard I had to call my daughter to help me up. So a long time ago in the galaxy far, far away. I'm not anywhere near as stable on my feet now, so I'm going to go down very carefully, very carefully, very carefully. Someday I'll tear this down and check it and see if it's 13 stones. It looks like there's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 outer ones, and then 3, and then 3, and then, or 4, whatever, 4 big ones. And start with your big ones at the bottom, obviously, and just build it up pyramidal, read the directions. There's directions in the Bible. People say, there's nothing in the Bible about building altars, nothing in the Bible about marrying a concubine. Yeah, Exodus 21, or Exodus 20, actually. Right after the 10 Commandments, there's laws on how to take a slave, how to marry a concubine, and how to build an altar. Pretty simple. Just don't use stone that any tool of man has ever marked. Just, hands-free, clean stones, natural stones from the dirt. And there's plenty around here in Missouri, believe me. So build yourself an altar. Claim land. Just say, Father, if I can't get this property, I'd like to get a nice property like this. A 5-acre, 10-acre property, 40-acre property, 160-acre property, 200-acre property, 1,000-acre property, 10,000-acre property. People are doing that, people. Hope people watch this and do this. You want to buy a ranch for 7,000-acre ranch on Rubidoux Creek? Build an altar on it, baby. It'll happen. God will make it happen. Might be a few years before it happens, but it'll happen. All right. God bless everyone. Bye-bye. This is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. Remnant people, that's all I'm talking to right now. I could care less about everybody else. Remnant. So, the shit has already hit the fan, people. We are in the last days. God is moving. And if you don't know that, you better wake up really quick. Because judgment, let me tell you this, judgment begins in the household of God. He's going to clean his house first, and then he's going to take care of the tares and the goats and everything. So, there you go. All right. God bless everybody. And by the way, the goats get harvested before the sheep. He said, depart from me. I never knew you. What do you mean? What? I was hungry. You didn't feed me. I was thirsty. You didn't give me water. I was naked. You didn't clothe me. I was in prison. You didn't come visit me. I was sick and you didn't heal me. A lot of you people listening to me right now are going to hear those words. I hope not, but probably going to be the case. Do not fail to entertain strangers unawares, for you may be entertaining an angel unawares. That's it. Do not hesitate to take care of strangers. Why? Because it's in the Old Testament. It's in Torah. All you Torah observant people, you failed that one big time. You're not taking care of strangers. You have a stranger around you, take care of them. Why? Because you were once strangers in the land of Egypt. You were once slaves, and Yahweh brought you out, and you're being cruel and hard-hearted and nasty and vicious to other people that are strangers to you. Same thing with all the people that think they're the supreme race. You're nasty, you're cruel, you're cold-hearted, and you're mean and selfish. And selfish people are goats, and goats are not going to go to heaven. Goats are going to be taken out before the sheep. Depart from me, I never knew you. A lot of people are going to hear that. I'm sorry, but some people hearing my voice are going to hear that right now. So I pray that that's not you. I pray that you're not going to be one of those people. But the tares are gathered and burned before the wheat is. Why? When they said, should we go get the tares out? No. Because if you try to take the tares out, the wheat will get taken out with it. You can't pull the tares. The wheat will come out with it. It'll destroy the wheat. Wait until it was ready for harvest, and the wheat will be the heads will be bowed down, like bowed down in worship. They have heavy heads, and they'll be bowed down to the ground. And then you can go and whack all the tares and just cut them down and harvest them and put them in a pile and burn them. Tares will be burnt before the wheat is harvested. So be apprised, be aware, be warned. To be forewarned is to be forearmed, and too many people are not going to be forearmed or forewarned because they're not listening to the voice of God. So listen, please, people. It's getting heavy. It's getting hot. It's getting hard. Heavy, hot, and hard. It's coming at you. That's what's coming at us all. Judgment will begin in the house of God, but judgment will cause some of those people to repent and get their lives squared away. So. I wrote a poem in the year 2000. In wrath, remember mercy, the prophet Habakkuk pled. Habakkuk 2:4. In wrath, remember mercy, the prophet Habakkuk pled. Are not their judgments are our mercies, is how that could be read. Were not 3 million people by plagues from Egypt freed? May we by Yahweh's catastrophes to righteousness us lead. From Babylon us lead. Okay? That's what's going to happen. Judgment's coming down. You better get your life right, and if you don't, you're going to be judged. You're going to be harvested with the rest of the goats and sheep, or goats and tares. So the church is getting pretty big. All right, that's it. All I'm going to say today. God bless everybody. Hope you're listening. Listen here, people. Hear and listen. This is Jerry Diamond. If you are listening to this, you are the remnant. Build an altar.